Hey guys, how's it going? This is Dilmer again and welcome back to my channel. So I really want to thank you for joining my videos and joining me in social media. I know a lot of you have been doing that for a long time and I really want to thank you for that. I also wanted to talk a little bit about a different topic, and that topic is, how many roles do I actually need to complete a game? And I tweeted that a few minutes ago, and in the tweet I included an infographic where I basically listed every single role that I think you need to create a game. And at the very end of the infographic I put "and many more." The main reason why I put "in many more" is because I don't really think you should be looking for very specific people in order to complete a game. What you should be looking for is for people that can multitask and can do multiple things. So one of the things that I personally have done in the past is I actually wasn't really good at creating art. I wasn't really an expert on drawing, and I was a good developer, a decent developer, but I didn't really know anything about marketing. I didn't know anything about using Photoshop, using Blender, Maya, rigging a character. There's just so many things that I didn't know about. But I was able to do and create a game. I was able to, determine, okay, I asked myself the question, okay, if I need to hire people, where would I put them on, and what is it that I really want to build? So back in the day, I really wanted to do everything. I wanted to do everything from the very beginning, from ideation to creating a prototype, and then shipping a polished game and getting it out to the store. But there were a lot of things that I didn't know how to do, and instead of focusing on the things that I didn't know how to do, I focused on the things that I was good at, things that I had fun doing, and that was actually creating a game, working on the core mechanics, determining what was the core of the game and how was I gonna be, polishing that game. So whenever you're thinking about, creating a game, let's say that you're a developer but you don't know how to create art, what I would say, don't focus on what you're not good at. Instead of doing that, say, have a deadline and say, okay, by next week I'm gonna be focusing on learning how to use Blender or learning how to use Photoshop, and then focus on creating a very basic game where you can prototype something, get it out pretty quickly, have people give you feedback about how the game, how do they like the game. So that's the thing that I did. If I tell you how I started, and I always talk about this process, is that I started making a game, a 2D game, because I wasn't comfortable with making a 3D game. So I made a Stickman world, and then I learned how to use, Unity. I learned how to use some of the tools. I learned and improved on my C# skills. And then it was really interesting because I didn't consider myself an artist. And then all of a sudden I was using Photoshop. I was creating sprites. I was creating the graphics that I needed for the menus. I was, creating the layout of the menus. So there were a lot of things that I learned through that process. I wasn't the best on the art side, but I wasn't afraid of it. And that's the thing that, if I go back to that infographic that I tweeted a few minutes ago, is I listed every single one of the roles. But to be honest, I don't think you need that many people to create an amazing game. What you need is a core development team, even one person or two people that are super passionate about it and that are very skilled in what they're doing. Or even if you're not super skilled in an area, what I would like to see in an individual that I'm hiring is a person that is good at a certain area, but is not afraid of jumping in and multitasking in other areas. So there's times throughout the day when I'm working on a game, and I might not know how to create music. I might not know how to create the sound effects, but I'm not afraid of learning that process. I'm not afraid of downloading the tools, trying things out, going through that process. I know it's not going to be perfect the first time, but then, once you go through that process, you're going to be better. You're going to become better at it. So if you're thinking about, creating a game, or you have, a team of 2 or 3 people, have that mentality in your team. Build a mentality in your team that, you're not going to be afraid of jumping in and helping the person that is doing the 3D art, or the other way around. Maybe the person that wants to do or is doing the 3D art wants to do some development. So I think the key here is just make sure that your communication with your team is very good, meaning that if that person really wants to learn and you still have deadlines, make sure that you're arranging some of that mentorship. You want to mentor that person, you want them to become successful, but at the same time, you want your game to be released. So you got to be balancing that out. And that can be as easy as creating a task and adding a task to your, to your project plan and saying, okay, I want my artist or my designer to be doing development maybe 5% of their time or 10% of their time. And then at the beginning, it's going to be a little bit of an investment, meaning that they might be, and they will be very slow. And that's okay, because now you have a person that is an artist, and he's now or she is now comfortable with doing development. And why is this so important? It's important because whenever you're creating an indie game, you will have a low budget, and it depends on the situation. But a lot of times that is basically the case. That has been the case for me, where I'm building a game all on my own, and I'm basically hiring people as I need them. So right now I have 2 people that are helping me with programming, and I didn't have that before, and I was the one doing every single thing. And by empowering other people, by leveraging the skills of other people, it's basically allowing me to do more, allowing me to do things that I really wanted to do before, but I just didn't have the time. So also something that is very important is you want to empower your team. You want to basically allow your team to jump into other roles, like I was telling you before, because at the end of the day, you're creating an indie game, and a lot of indie games are basically small companies. And that has been my experience, is that I do almost every single thing, before I can actually ship a game. And I'm not complaining. I actually enjoy it. I enjoy that. I think the most amazing experience of my life has been where, I can take an idea and ship a game. That to me is success. That to me is what I really like to spread the word about. I think a lot of you are super excited about doing that as well, where, in other businesses, in other industries, you're always stuck in doing one single role, and that's all you do every day. And that to me is the worst. That to me is not exciting, because I'm not innovating, I'm not trying new things, and I'm not saying anything bad about those roles. What I'm saying is that that's really not what I want to do. That's really not what I see myself doing for the rest of my life. So if you want to take my recommendation on doing multiple roles, getting, becoming a multitasker, and then not willing to be afraid of doing, what's uncomfortable, which is something that is new, that to me is what's going to allow you to ship a great game. It's going to allow you to do things that no other people do. You're going to be able to see a unique art, a unique aspect of the indie game industry. And that's what I see in a lot of indie games, is they're very unique, and they're very unique because they were built by hand. They were built by people that, are super passionate like you are. They were built by small companies that, they didn't have all the resources, but they were able to do really well with the small resources that they had. So that to me is success, and I appreciate your time, guys. If you have any questions about this topic, let me know, and don't forget to share this video. Thank you.